Right, hello everybody. I had a problem the other day with my Syma X8HG in that when I was flying it, I was hearing this really bad grinding noise, and I've had a look at some of the videos on YouTube and I decided to have a go at this myself. And really all you're going to need to do this is some silicone grease. This is white lithium silicone grease. I bought this from Toolstation, and I'm sure other people can get it as well. It's got a really handy little tube on here, so you can actually put the grease exactly where you want it. So the way I did it was, first of all, I think it's easier just to take the prop off. Okay, nose comes off. Remember, you undo this, you go anti-clockwise, you'll hear the click. You're able then to pull up, and there's a little pin. I've magnetized my screwdriver, so it actually makes it quite easy to get that pin out. There we go. That one's out. Right, so you need to take the prop off. A little bit of force. Okay, the prop's off. Now then, the two screws that you're going to need to release to get to the motor is these here. Okay, so you've got one there, which is fairly straightforward, and then you've got one here which you may have to turn the cam a little bit so you can get your screwdriver to line up with the screw. Once you've done that, you just slacken them off a little. Okay, and before you slacken it all the way, just take off the motor guard at the bottom. Okay, so again it's two screws, one there, and that's with those two screws. Remember, with these motors, what you need to do is to unplug this here, just pop it up with an ordinary screwdriver until it's loose. There we go, that's loose. Okay, so you can turn it back over like that. Now we can get to that those screws, and really all you need to do is slacken them off. Don't take them out, because they can take a little bit of getting back in. Right, just slacken them off and you'll feel the motor come away. There we go, there's the motor. As you can see, it's a metal gear. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a bit of tissue there. I'm going to spray this gear. There we go. See the grease on the side there. Okay, when you've done that, with your grease gun, carefully put it down into there, and you can see where the cogs are. Spray it, turn, turn, okay, now that's had a lot of grease, and that's really running really well. While you've got that off, spray this shaft and then wipe off the excess with a bit of towel in. There we go. Okay, so motor, offer the motor back up underneath. The motor back up in there. Find the screws and screw them up. Again, you might have to move that slightly to find the screw. There he is. Okay. Okay, so then what I would do now is when you fit the propeller back on, right, it goes onto that nylon shaft there. If you can see, there's a metal washer here. Now you can imagine when this motor's going at full tilt, it's going to want to lift. Obviously the lift is coming, so this is going to move slightly and it's going to move up onto this nylon clip that secures it. So what I would suggest is, again with your grease, just a little, you don't need to go mental, a little bit, there you go, like that. Right, that motor has now been greased. Okay, so a little pin, this little pin back in place. And the nylon clip and if you look there, the pin is in the correct place. That's where it needs to be. Okay, so you can put your nose cone back on and turn it over. Okay, so here we go. This is our motor. What you need to do is just put the plug back in the socket there, and with a little screwdriver just give it a little bit of persuasion and it clicks into position. And now that meter is now connected back up again. Then simply put the cowling back on. Again, that will click into position. Screw that into place. And that one. That's it. Okay, that has had a good greasing, and as you can see, you didn't have to take it apart to do it. I would suggest that it obviously depends how much you fly, but probably once a month, something like that. I mean, I only started doing it because I heard a really grating noise, and I guess that's what it was. So it's the metal gearing coming against that that nylon one, and as you can imagine, you know, that builds up quite a bit of heat, which obviously creates a bit of friction, and it was squealing a little bit. So there we go.